Hey, this is Corey Burns for Glitched Online. I'm going to give you a demonstration of the paradigm fighting system in Final Fantasy XIII. Released worldwide in 2010, this was the first game in the Final Fantasy series to implement this combat, and what I like about it, as opposed to other RPG games and other Final Fantasy games, is that the combat's very fluid. Your characters aren't pigeonholed into a certain role like mage or warrior or things like that, and you can sort of change your roles of the characters within battle in order to most effectively defeat this boss. So this is about 10 hours into the game, and I'm going to give you a demonstration and walk through how I was able to defeat this boss by changing my paradigm. So what I'm going to start off with right here is Lightning as a commando attacking and Hope as a synergist, which is really important to kind of cast Protect to increase my character's defense, because this boss has a lot of really powerful attacks and I won't really last long if I don't have Protect on me. So now that I have Protect on both my characters, you can see that by that shield at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I'm going to switch between healing and more aggressive tactics in order to increase that stagger meter. So the stagger meter is that gold bar at the top right hand corner of the screen, and once that stagger meter is full, my characters do double damage than that they normally would do, and I can do some other abilities as well based on some of the upgrades I've given my character Lightning at this point in the game. So as you can see, like I said, the battle system is very fluid, but I'm not really controlling the game as much as it looks like the movement of the characters. I'm not controlling the movement at all. It's very visual. The only thing I'm doing is with the LB bumper, I am changing the characters' roles and the paradigm shifts, and pressing A to input my commands. Now, I usually use auto command because manually inputting your commands is possible in this game, but it takes a lot of time, and as you can see, the combat in this is very fast and very fluid, so you have to sort of adapt quickly, and it's more important to kind of focus on your HP, the stagger, and paradigms as opposed to manually inputting commands to most effectively get the victory. Now, I have talked a little bit about both Commander and Ravager, the two offensive styles in this game. Commandos are much more effective at dealing out damage, but they don't really build up the stagger bar as much as the other class of offensive ability, which is Ravager. Ravagers are a little bit weaker, but they build up that stagger bar much faster. The downside of that being, though, is I don't know if you can see that when I fight, that stagger bar decreases, and if you're attacking with a Ravager, it decreases much faster as it does with a Commando. Commando really stabilizes it, so it's kind of risk-reward. I have a paradigm with double Ravagers right now I'm using that really builds up that stagger bar, but it decreases a lot faster than it would normally, so I sort of switch between paradigms in order to stabilize it and increase it as fast as I can to build up that stagger, which is really important in fighting this boss, because you can sort of see right now there by the target's HP, I haven't done a lot of damage, and I'm really going to start racking up the damage once I get in the stagger. You can see right now it's in stagger, so I can kind of show you some of the cool abilities that I'm able to do. As I said at the start, I can do double damage with stagger, but I also have that launch ability with Lightning, so Lightning will launch enemies into the air while it's in stagger, and it's more or less infinite. It's not going to be able to fight me, so I do double damage, and it's not really attack, so it's really important right now that I pour into the boss as much as I can. In addition to the stagger, initially you only start out doing double damage, but if the longer the enemies in stagger, you can increase the damage you do, and I can go into a little bit of details later and the next chance I get a stagger, because right now I'm a little bit more focused on some of my buffs are actually being removed. I don't know if you've noticed that, so I'm gonna have to put them back on my characters so that they don't eventually die. One of the other things in the combat system is every single fight you have one leader or a commando. In this case right now it's Lightning, so it's really important that I keep Lightning alive, because if Lightning dies, it's game over for me if she runs out of HP, as opposed to Hope. I can revive Hope, but I cannot revive Lightning, so it's more important that I keep Lightning alive in this boss fight. So you can sort of see now I'm doing more or less the same, switching between that War and Peace paradigm with Hope as a medic and Lightning as a commando, and the more aggressive slash and burn with Lightning as a commando, and dual casting where both my characters are Ravagers based on how much HP they have and how the boss is behaving. It's sort of really important to be, like I've said, adaptive in fluid combat style as opposed to the other RPGs where you really kind of have a strategy, or you don't really change how your characters behave within battle in RPG games in the past, because they kind of are pigeonholed in one role, and it's really important to keep them in that role to most effectively defeat the boss. So I'm not actually able to show the other character roles in the system. I'll go into a little bit of detail on one, the Sentinel, because I think it's pretty interesting. So the Sentinel paradigm it has the highest defense of any character class, and what it does is it provokes other enemies, and while the enemies are provoked, it will only attack the Sentinel, and you can sort of it's sort of used as a distraction, so you can attack them, you can heal your party members accordingly when you need it, and it's just kind of effective ways. I mean, it's a strategy. So now I have the boss again in stagger mode, as you can see. I'm using one of my most powerful paradigms here, Slash and Bird with Lightning Commando, Hope as the Ravager. You can see at the bottom of the stagger bar that percentage. Initially, I only start doing double damage to the enemies, but once I increase that percentage, Lightning will start doing more and more damage, and Hope's kind of feeding into that percentage with the Ravager attacks. It really increases that percentage, where Lightning just is dishing out the damage. So right here you can see probably next attack input I'm going to be able to defeat the boss, and it just, like I said, you have to be really smart in how you take advantage of stagger when you have time to, and sure enough, there goes the boss. This is Corey Burns for Glitched Online, and I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of the paradigm finding system in Final Fantasy XIII. Thanks for watching.